Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's blessing and mercy and peace be upon all of you, and Allah's special love and mercy and peace be upon our beloved Prophet Rahmatullahi Alameen Muhammad Mustafa Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. All praise to Allah alone and all thanks belongs to Him alone. Dear viewers, I have come up after 2 months. I was busy with my work, and due to which I was not able to upload my video, and today by the grace of Almighty Allah I have decided to make another video, and this will be my super beautiful video in this regard, because today's topic of mine is very important topic, and you people will learn a lot of things from this topic of mine today's. And before I will say something in this video, I would like to say to all of you, please, I'm going to upload the videos in the regarding of the Islam the Haq is my new channel, which I hope all of you will subscribe it. And because I remember here the holy tradition of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that if you know the one verse of Quran, so you should separate. And inshallah, I hope all of you will subscribe that my new channel, that is the Islam the Haq. Now I will talk of today's topic. The important topic of today's is the narration, and we also call it direct and indirect speech, and it is one of the important topics that is we learn from our classes like 10th, in the class 10th, 12th on up to the graduation level. And today's topic of mine is about this topic of mine. So let me talk about today's topic and the narration. What is narration? There are two possible ways when we can quote the speaker's words. When the speaker's words are quoted directly, it is called a direct speech. When the exact words are reported by some other person, it is called the indirect speech, or we call it an indirect narration. And there are a lot of things to be learned while we are learning direct, indirect, or the narration. 3 things we should know before we talk about the narration. A student of English or any student who want to learn the narration beautifully and awesomely, he has the knowledge of 3 important terms which are most importantly used, and they are kinds of sentences. Number 2, the knowledge of pronouns, and the knowledge of tenses. There are 5 kinds of sentences which we used in narration, and we also should know the proper usages of pronouns, because we have to change in indirect speech the pronouns of the direct speech. And there are 4 kinds of pronouns, or we call it 4 kinds of cases of a pronoun. Subjective case, objective case, possessive case, and reflexive case, or we can call them subjective pronoun, objective pronoun, possessive pronoun, an reflexive pronoun. So let me talk about. When we talk about direct and indirect speech, there are direct speech is divided into two parts. Reported verb, and the second part of it is called the reported speech. And reported speeches begin with in the direct speech is used with capital letter, and direct speech in the reported speech is to be placed in inverted commas, and after that it is depending upon if our reported speech is in interrogative sentence, optative, exclamatory or assertive sentences. So we have to put at the end either question mark, exclamation mark, full stop. It is depending upon this thing. And in indirect speech we remove the inverted commas and we introduce conjunction. Sometimes we don't use the conjunction, and sometimes we have option we can use conjunction. But most often the prominent conjunction we use in indirect speech, that is that. The next point, people learn this thing nicely. Only the certain rules can be followed, but there are some conditions when we have to use the direct speech. Only we can change direct speech into indirect speech, and tenses can be used only. For example, now let me talk about, first I will try to explain this thing to all of you. There are tenses which are accordingly changed in the indirect speech. But before that there is a one condition. When the reported verb is in past, if the reported speech is in present or future, that time the present or the tenses are not changed. Only the pronouns are changed. The first criteria to change the direct speech into indirect speech, that it should to be the first part of which we called the reporting verb should be in the past. If it is in present or a future, it cannot be changed. It will be remain here. Then if it is in the past, reported verb is in the past, then we can use rules. For example, we can use present simple if it is in a reported speech. In the direct speech is in present simple, it can be changed in past simple. Similarly, present continuous changed into the past continuous, present perfect changed into the past perfect, and present perfect continuous changed into the past perfect continuous. Similarly, past simple changes into past continuous, and past continuous changes into past perfect continuous. So there will no be future change. The future is will and shall. Will changes into would and shall changes into should. But there are certain things which we should know, that while changing the direct speech into indirect speech and the reported speech in the direct speech can be changed but there are some rules, there are some exceptions when we don't change the direct speech in the indirect reported speech. I mean to say, whenever direct speech expresses the universal truth, that time, or a habitual fact, we don't change that time in the indirect speech reported speech. I mean to say, when our direct speech expresses universal fact or a habitual fact, we don't change that in the indirect speech. The second one is when past continuous and past simple are used together and we don't change that time the indirect speech. But I'm talking about change, but we can change that time the pronouns. The next one, when there is we and it refers for the mankind, that time we don't change the pronoun we. But when we is used as a newspaper, that time we is changed into it. The next one, when we imagined something, that time we don't change the tense in the indirect speech. The next one, when at the time of sentences, for example, we use the future at the time of indirect speech in the reported speech, we don't change that time the tense in the indirect speech of the reported speech. And we can also can't change if our sentence, or sorry, our direct speech expresses some historical events. We can't change that time. So I need to make another video, and which I will inshallah make very soon. So please go subscribe my channel and press bell icon. And as I have told you that I'm going to upload the videos regarding the Islam on my next channel, which I'm inshallah going to start very soon. And my channel's name is the Islam the Haq, because Prophet peace be upon him said, I will mention here again, if you know the verse of one verse of the Holy Quran, or your knowledge of any verse about the Islam, so you should separate. I'm just separating. So please do subscribe my channel and press bell icon. And inshallah, I hope that all of you will subscribe that channel, because I know a little bit of Islam. I'm not a scholar, but whatever I know, inshallah, I try to teach to all of you, and so that it will save me from the hellfire, and Allah will be pleased with this act of mine. I will come next time. Till then, I again say to all of you, please subscribe that channel. I will come next time. Till then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.